What's going on, everybody? This is Matt Rinke, the founder of Illumination Wealth. I hope this finds you doing well, staying healthy, mentally strong, and productive during these unusual times. Wanted to give you a couple updates regarding the Paycheck Protection Program, as well as share a tool with you that can help as you navigate the Paycheck Protection Program loan going forward. First and foremost, the Senate approved a $400 billion plus additional relief package, of which an additional $310 billion is allocated for the Paycheck Protection Program. So if you weren't allocated in that first $349 billion, there may be more money coming up down the pike very soon. So ensure that you get your applications in, ensure that you're in touch with your banker so that you can be in the queue and have all of your information so that loan can be processed. Even the big banks have acknowledged that this money is still probably not enough, that they would need over $1 trillion of this Paycheck Protection Program to satisfy all the demand from small businesses. So make sure that you do what you need to do to get organized around it, to get that application in right away. Another interesting tidbit is that Senator Marco Rubio indicated, he was one of the backers of the bill in the Paycheck Protection Program, that he's going to be going after businesses who have basically taken advantage of the Paycheck Protection Program, who have gotten money and gotten loans but really didn't need it. You may have heard things like Ruth Chris and Shake Shack getting tens of millions of dollars of Paycheck Protection Program loan funds, while mom and pops and Main Street was completely left out, or many people were left out. So they said that they might use their subpoena powers come this fall in order to dive deeper into businesses and how they are using it and whether they actually needed it, despite some of the certifications that were made. So that is something to be aware of as well. Now, I wanted to share a tool with you that we created. It's basically a Paycheck Protection Program organizer and loan forgiveness calculator. There's a few tools here. What you need to do is enter all of the specific detailed information in the yellow input fields. And what you will see is that you can enter your loan amount once you get it. You can then calculate your loan spend down date, because it's important that you only have 8 weeks to spend the money. So then you need to get organized regarding all of the authorized uses of those funds, whether it's your health insurance, mortgage, or retirement contributions, state and local payroll taxes. Understand the pay dates of those things as they are set up right now, because you might need to adjust them to get them spent down by this date. Imagine that your payroll is processed on the 16th of every month, but your due date is the 10th. You need to then figure out how you can adjust your payroll to be able to accommodate, or adjust your bill payment to make sure that it gets paid prior to that spend down date. And then you can go through each and every area, figure out what bank account you currently have yours in, or what credit card the bill is coming out of, so it can all be spent through one account. That is our best practice and recommendation. Spend all the loan proceeds from one account, turn everything else off, shift it to another bank account. So the only money coming out of the bank account is Paycheck Protection Program uses only. Following that, go through and just make some estimates on your insurance, your rent, your mortgage, your gas, your internet, your phone bills, so that we can start to do some estimates regarding forgiveness. Only enter the yellow. If you go to the next payroll cost tab, this is where that you could enter your current annual actual wages, what you're going to be paying people on your payroll now. Now, think about this. Your pay periods might not align completely with this 8-week period, so you need to figure that out and adjust your numbers accordingly as it relates to your monthly payroll over these next 8 weeks. But enter the inputs there. Add your 401k matching contribution to the wages. You can make an adjustment for if somebody's making 150 because they get that match, and you can deduct that from your paycheck, your use of proceeds. Also, California payroll taxes, employer paid, can be also included or not. So that's entering your payroll costs. Then there's a wage reduction calculator, which you might want to be looking into. If you have reduced people's wages, there might be a reduction in forgiveness due to those wages that are reduced more than 75%. So you can fill that out accordingly as well. And then there's the forgiveness calculator. This you will input only in the yellow highlighted cells. So here's a little calculation. If you received a $225,000 loan, it's going to calculate what your payroll is from this tab, and then this tab, which gives us the total spent. It's broken down by payroll versus non-payroll authorized costs. You can see those right here. So we can see that we spent $193,000 between these two sources. So $31,816 has not been spent. We're not able to use it over those 8 weeks based on the current projections of our payroll. So following that, we can then enter the reduction in headcount, because a huge factor of this Paycheck Protection Program is your headcount. Your forgiveness is being driven by the headcount. In this example, there's 12 employees. If those 12 employees are was what you had last year, and there are only 10 now, you can see how your forgiveness is going to be reduced by $32,000 if you don't restore those jobs by the end of the year. So that will impact forgiveness. Imagine if we hired all 12 back, there's no reduction in forgiveness. So that makes a big impact. So we can go down to the bottom here, we can enter some additional details, and you'll see that the amount of the loan forgiven is $160,000 of the 225. 31 wasn't spent, and 32 was not forgiven because of that headcount reduction. So it shows that we'll have a balance due of $64,000. Now, if you restore those jobs, even though you didn't spend the money on them, you restore those jobs by June 30th, you are going to get that all forgiven. And so the only thing that is due then is the balance that you didn't spend. So getting those jobs restored by June 30th is another very important factor in this equation. So get organized, figure out all your bank accounts, make sure your QuickBooks and documentation is up to speed, set up a separate class for that loan and all the use of proceeds for it, and then go through this so you can map out your forgiveness specifically and precisely. Note that you need to be aware this needs to be customized for your own business and your own dates, and is a tool for you to use, and work with your accountant and your advisors to make sure that you are optimizing and maximizing forgiveness. All the best to you. Stay healthy, live wealthy.